as long as he continued to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter, a real fighter that can really fight, it's not gonna be that good.
That side just hurt me. Although, like, you have to give it to Mike, man. This is 58 years old Mike Tyson that been doing this sport since 12 years old, I believe. And then to be able to still be able to like stand up on his own at this age, I think is impressive.
I'm not talking about the fight because there's nothing to really talk about. The fight was absolutely hopeless. It was terrible. But let's get into the fight. Jake Paul was behind his jab having a look, not closing the gap, not closing that distance. And Mike Tyson is not fit enough or young enough or fast enough on his feet to close that gap.
Like this poor guy. Like you see Theo falling apart in front of you. Like, Jesus Christ, I thought I was running for president here. I think I might have to help this young fella.
Who do I need to talk to about this?
But like, you know, Kamala didn't have the ability to do that. Or if she did, nobody brought it out of her. I was hoping I could.
So whenever Mike Tyson tried to get a little bit close to him, and he didn't try that hard, Tyson, it looked like he just took his time, but he's 58 years old, what do you expect? But every time he did try and close the gap, Jake Paul backed off, got behind his jab, he threw a couple of shots in there, he did throw a couple of big swings as well at one point, so that's why I have to question, when he said he took his time on Mike Tyson, didn't want to hurt him, didn't want to knock him out.
Mike Tyson recently dropped a bombshell about his fight with Jake Paul. And let's just say the truth is as shocking as it is revealing. This wasn't just a battle of fists. It was a spectacle that left fans questioning everything about modern boxing. Tyson, the man who could once obliterate opponents with punches that sounded like thunder, stepped into the ring at 58 years old. But something seemed off. Jake Paul, the YouTuber-turned-boxer, showed flashes of skill, landing a solid jab here, a quick right there, but Tyson's legendary power? Dialed down to what felt like sparring mode. Where was the ferocious energy that made Tyson a household name? His iconic hooks looked more like friendly taps, and his legs. They seemed to betray him, wobbling under the weight of years and countless fights. Joe Rogan summed it up perfectly on his podcast. Watching Tyson face Paul was surreal. Sure, Jake showed some talent, but this wasn't the Tyson we all knew and feared. Mike's head movement is still there, Rogan admitted, but the speed and power? Not what they used to be. The verdict? Jake won, but fans were left longing for the unstoppable force that Tyson once was. Dana White also chimed in, admitting he initially begged Tyson to avoid these exhibition matches. "You're almost 60, he told him, recounting his concern.
Coming in aggressive and already tying up. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Tyson and Paul.
Very dangerous live dog in this fight. But if Usyk decides and wins and decides to come back down to cruiserweight, then the Zurdo fight is right there for him.
Kevin Farmer's team believed that they won a very close fight. How did you score that, Oscar?
I had it 1 point up for William. He had the relentless style. He kept throwing punches. I mean, he lands.
But Tyson, ever the showman, brushed it off. The fight with Jake Paul wasn't about proving dominance. It was about cashing in. And cash in he did. $20 million richer, Tyson walked away with his legacy intact, though fans and purists alike felt cheated by what many labeled a glorified sparring session. The fight itself played out like a poorly scripted drama. Tyson stalked forward in the opening round, bobbing and weaving like old times. Yet, the punches lacked their trademark venom. Jake, on the other hand, used his youth to outlast and outscore the veteran, peppering Tyson with jabs and staying cautious to avoid a potential knockout. By round 5, Jake landed a combination that sent Tyson to the canvas, a moment that sealed his victory but left spectators wondering, was it real or was it all for show?
Time.
It's hard to even explain it. It's just my life. It's just, I can't even explain why I have them.
They've been in my life so long. It's just, that's what I do. That's my life. That's my outlet in life.
And I'm really glad that you found something positive and you found a positive way to cope with that as well. Me being a kid, especially being from Brooklyn, I understand all the adversities that some of the younger kids also go through. I also see what they go through in our neighborhoods. I have some family that live in Brownsville as well. So I am very well aware of what happens around there.
But listen, adversity is beautiful. I'm so happy I endured it. Nothing more better than adversity. You know, adversity makes the strong stronger and the weak weaker. Without adversity, we're nobody. You have to be tested in life. Without test, there's no testimony.
Yes, and I hope everyone else is listening to that because that's a very special message. Well, you are now fit.
Conspiracy theories exploded online. A leaked script began circulating, claiming the entire fight was pre-planned down to the last jab. Fans were outraged, calling it a disgrace to boxing. Tyson denied any rigging outright, but even he admitted to carrying Jake through the match. Why? According to him, it was about entertaining the audience, not going for blood. To make matters more surreal, Tyson revealed he'd undergone a near-death experience earlier in the year, losing half his blood and requiring 8 transfusions. That revelation explained his diminished performance but did little to soothe fans' frustration. Meanwhile, Jake Paul basked in his win, celebrating yet another addition to his record. Critics weren't so kind. "This isn't boxing," one commenter said. "It's reality TV masquerading as a sport."
How did this fight even happen or get approved? Each state has an athletic commission that governs licenses for combat sports. It's not a national standard, it's state by state, and there's a wide variety of medical clearance processes and rules in place from one state to another. That probably played some role in where this fight happened because Texas has some of the more lenient medical clearance processes. So here you can see if you're going to apply to get a license, you basically have to have a medical exam, you have to have some negative blood work, which is pretty self-explanatory. You have to have passed an eye exam within the previous 6 months, and if you are over the age of 36, you are considered...
Even legends like Evander Holyfield voiced their disapproval, questioning whether Tyson was set up to lose. Boxing purists lamented the state of the sport, longing for the days when it wasn't all about paydays and publicity stunts. But one thing is certain, Tyson, even at 58, still draws a crowd. And Jake Paul? Love him or hate him, he's managed to keep his name at the center of the boxing world, whether or not he's earned the respect of its fans. So, was it scripted? Maybe. Was it entertaining? Absolutely. But if you're a fan of the raw, unfiltered sport of boxing, this match probably felt more like a circus than a legitimate contest. Either way, it's clear that when Mike Tyson and Jake Paul step into the ring, the drama doesn't end with the final bell. It's just beginning.
This all started with God in ayahuasca, where I saw the vision of millions and millions of people watching through their screens of me fighting Mike Tyson. It was so real, and it's like, this is going to happen. And so after I seen him a little bit tired, I didn't want to put too much hurt on him, but I wanted the fans to get a good experience. But there was a point where all of my aggression and like super violence and like I'm gonna knock this guy out and show him, it went away when I wasn't getting hit much at all. And I don't know.